These are 3 rear cycle lamps from probably the 1950s to 60s, and the reason I'm showing you these is because they're a type that haven't been produced for years, and they're ideal if you have some old bikes like me and you want them to look the part. Also, if you do some night cycling or in the winter when it's dark and miserable, then lights are essential. And instead of having horrible LEDs, which I can't stand and that have no place on old technology, you can buy these for not a lot of money in good condition, and they generally don't need much doing to them to get them up and running again. All these are working. I shall go through each one. But first of all, we'll start at this, which I think is the oldest. It's certainly the most worn, and that is a Drydex by Exide, long defunct manufacturer of batteries and electrical apparatus that used batteries. Exide, they made car batteries, ordinary household batteries, and things like this to use the batteries. It's quite a simple construction, pretty durable. It's had a few bashes there, a few battle scars, and it's a very simple operation. The thing I like about these is they take 1 D cell and that's all they need. So they're quite economical. They would have been inexpensive to buy when they were new. Very simple and quite compact in size. So to operate them, this one, you just simply twist the end and that screws down to make contact with the battery inside. That dimple there contacts the bottom of the battery, and then the bulb contacts the top. So when this is screwed down, it makes a complete circuit through the outer casing. As you can see, it's reasonably well, it's adequate for a rear light. The light output is pretty good actually. I don't know how many hours you'd get before it went dim. That remains to be seen. But the downside to this one is it's not really visible from the side. So any traffic on side roads will struggle to see it. So switch that off. So that's all you do. No need to remove the battery, no switch or anything. Moving on to this one, again similar principle. This is an ever ready British. Just make that out. And I've been having a lot of trouble with this one, and you'll see why. It's on permanently at the moment because it's quite unreliable, and the reason for that is that this is the part that acts as the switch and the end cap to remove the battery, but it's quite unreliable because it just springs out, you see, and I mean that's not going anywhere. But when I'm trying to screw it in to switch the light on, it doesn't really want to know. So there's a bit more fettling required with that, but so far over the years I've had it, my half-hearted attempts have been wholly unsuccessful. So that won't be seeing any use, not for the time being anyway. But it would be nice to get it going because it's a good lamp, although a bit more vulnerable than this one. Moving on, this is a later, very nicely styled Ever Ready, probably from the late 1950s or early 1960s. Again, similar principle, but they've moved on to all plastic construction. And this switch is a similar shape to the Ever Ready metal front lamps that were widely seen at one time. So that again, I got a good bracket there, made in Britain, visible from side as well as rear, which is a good thing. And I do have another one of these in grey, in light grey, on one of my bikes, and that's done some good service. But this one, it's a switch operation. Switch, doesn't matter which way, switch on to the side, off centre, and away you go. So even simpler than the others to operate really, but you've got switch contacts inside which can corrode, but overall it's a good lamp, quite bright as well. People put LEDs in these things and they weren't designed for them, because you have to consider the lens. They weren't just made by monkeys, they were scientifically designed, and the lenses were designed for filament lamps. An LED is a totally different kettle of fish, and they don't always work with the lenses they weren't designed for. So there you go. This one I will be putting on my 1958 Rudge, because although it's got a dyno hub at the front, I'm only using that for a front light because that gives greater brightness at the front. I need to see where I'm going better, and it's also got a carrier on the rear, so this will do nicely on the carrier. At least that's the plan, if the angle is correct, because they were meant to go on the seat stay like the dynamo lights. So this would have just attached to the seat stay like that, the rear stays, and it's at the correct angle. So I'm hoping the carrier is the same, so we shall see. But yeah, just three old lights there, all very similar but all different in their own way, and great for the old bikes if you like to use them.